Okay, good evening. I would like to call the November 13th, 2025 Plan Commission meeting to order at 7 p.m. Please stand if you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Bill Thomas,
Here.
Ken Carroll,
Here.
Gordon Butler,
Here.
Marty Flynn, John Stanton, Cheryl Slabazeski, and Jeff Peterson.
Here.
Okay, thank you. And also sitting up here tonight with the commissioners is Daniel Ritter, our Community and Economic Development Director, and Atifa, our City Planner. So first order of business is to approve the minutes from the Plan Commission meeting held on October 9th, 2025. Roll call. Motion first, I'm sorry. Let's get that in the right order. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Carroll.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Butler. Roll call, please.
Ken Carroll,
Yes.
Gordon Butler,
Yes.
Jeff Peterson,
Yes.
John Stanton,
Yes.
and Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we have one case on the agenda for tonight. It is a public hearing and consideration of petitions, plat of subdivision, case number SU 25-4-11-1, and case V-25-4-11-1, the request of the City of Crest Hill seeking special approvals from the City of Crest Hill subdivision zoning ordinance and city code to subdivide the subject property into 2 lots. A special use permit for an existing park and playground with multiple variations from Table 1 of the residential zoning districts and standards for non-residential uses in R1 single-family residence district, and Section 8.3-8 permitted obstructions in yards of the Crest Hill zoning ordinance, and a variation from Section 15.12.067 on-premises signs, Chapter 15.12 sign code of the Crest Hill City of Ordinances, to bring the conditions of the subject property in compliance for the existing public playground located on the 8,176 square foot R1 single-family residence district zoned property known as the Stanley Gustafson Park and located at 2227 Park Rose Street in Crest Hill, Illinois, with no site improvements proposed in this application. That is a mouthful. Samantha, is the paperwork in order?
All necessary paperwork is in order.
Okay, then I would like to have a motion to open the public hearing for case SU 25-4-11-1 and V-25-4-11-1. Motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Peterson, second by Commissioner Stanton. Roll call, please.
Jeff Peterson,
Yes.
John Stanton,
Yes.
Ken Carroll,
Yes.
Gordon Butler,
Yes.
and Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Public hearing opened at 7:04. I would like to ask our city planner, Atifa, to present the specifics of this case. Atifa?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant for this application is the City of Crest Hill, and at tonight's meeting, the Director of Community and Economic Development and I are presenting this application on behalf of the city. City of Crest Hill is requesting consideration of petitions, preliminary and final plat of subdivision, special use and variations request for the subject property located at 2227 Park Road Street in Crest Hill. The city is proposing to subdivide the subject property into 2 lots to separate the existing public park and playground from the city water utility structure, requests a special use approval for the existing public park and playground known as Stanley Gustafson Park, and requests multiple variations from the Crest Hill zoning ordinance and the Crest Hill Code of Ordinances to bring the existing conditions of the subject property into compliance. No site improvements are proposed in this application. The subject property is a corner lot and consists of an existing public park and playground known as the Stanley Gustafson Park and a one-story block building used as city water utility well number 4, located at south corner of Park Rose Street and Webb Street, facing Webb Street. The entire subject property is owned.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, can you just slow down?
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're trying, she's,
Okay, should I read it again?
No, that's okay, if you could just slow down.
Okay.
Thank you.
The subject property is a corner lot and consists of existing public park and playground known as Stanley Gustafson Park and a one-story block building used as city water utility well number 4, located at south corner of Park Rose Street and Webb Street, facing Webb Street. The entire subject property, is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, better now? Good. The entire subject property is owned by the city of Crest Hill, and the existing public park and playground is maintained by the Lockport Township Park District. The original development and ongoing maintenance of the park has been done via an informal agreement for many years. However, the Park District has requested the formal transfer of the land as it ensures they have proper maintenance, insurance, and control of the land. It also allows them to potentially obtain grants or other public funding to improve the land in the future. The transfer benefits the city as well to avoid any legal complications of owning the underlying land that is controlled by another taxing body. If the final plat of subdivision, special use, and variations requests are approved by the City Council, the ownership of the existing public park and playground is to be formally transferred to the Lockport Township Park District under a separate agreement. Application documents submitted include Exhibit C, Application for Development; Exhibit D, Legal Description; Exhibit E, List of requested variations; Exhibit F, Subject Property Photos of Existing Condition; Exhibit G, Response to Standards for Special Use; Exhibit H, Response to Standards for Variations; Exhibit I, Final Plat of Subdivision and Plat of Survey, prepared by Robinson Engineering Ltd., dated September 22nd, 2025. To subdivide the subject property into 2 lots and bring the existing conditions of the subject property into compliance, the applicant is seeking approval of the following petitions. Preliminary and final plat of subdivision to subdivide the subject property into 2 lots. SU-25-4-11-1, the special use for an existing park and playground known as the Stanley Gustafson Park in the R1 Single Family Residence District. V-25-4-11-1, 2 variations from Table 1, residential zoning districts and standards for non-residential uses in R1 Single Family Residence District of the Crest Hill zoning ordinance that decrease the minimum required lot area from 10,000 square feet to 4,426 square feet and minimum lot width from 75 feet to 60 feet. Variations from Section 8.3-8 permitted obstructions in yards of the Crest Hill zoning ordinance that allow open fencing to be located in required front and corner side yard setbacks and recreational structures and equipment in required front, corner side, and interior side yard setbacks. A variation from Section 15.12.067 on-premises signs, Chapter 15.12 Sign Code of the Crest Hill Code of Ordinances that allows an existing off-premises sign to remain on the public right-of-way. Staff reviewed the existing conditions of the subject property with respect to the applicable city regulations. The Crest Hill zoning ordinance classifies parks and playgrounds as a special use in residential districts. To bring the existing conditions and use of the subject property into compliance, the existing public park and playground must be formally established as a special use in the R1 Residence District and the above-mentioned variations are required from the Crest Hill zoning ordinance and Code of Ordinances to address the existing nonconformities associated with the property's specific physical characteristics. No site improvements are proposed in this application. Overall, staff believe that the subject property represents a unique circumstance within the R1 single-family residence district due to the property's specific physical characteristics, community context, and public benefit. The parcel's size, shape, and location limit its suitability for residential construction, while making it ideally suited for low-intensity public park and playground use. This distinct condition differentiates the subject property from typical residential lots within the R1 single-family residence district. Additionally, the surrounding neighborhood benefits from the presence of a small, accessible public park and playground that enhances the quality of life for nearby residents without introducing incompatible land uses or adverse impacts. The existing park's design, scale, and operation are consistent with the residential character of the area and serve as a complementary amenity rather than a conflicting use. These factors together create a unique and practical justification for permitting Stanley Gustafson Park as a special use within the R1 single-family residence district, as it balances community needs and land use compatibility and upholds the intent of the Crest Hill zoning ordinance to promote public health, safety, and welfare. Based on the findings reflected in the staff report, staff recommends that the Plan Commission recommends City Council conditional approval of the preliminary and final plat of subdivision, special use, and variation requests to bring the existing conditions of the subject property into compliance, subject to the project being implemented in substantial conformance with application documents referenced in November 13, 2025, Plan Commission staff report for petitions, preliminary and final plat of subdivision, case number SU-25-4-11-1, and case number B-25-4-11-1. Thank you.
And just really quickly, just as a quick summary into, obviously it's the city that's making this presentation. It's basically one lot now. It's kind of been a handshake agreement over the years that the park district built the park whenever they built it. And it's just kind of operated that way. Now they're obviously looking to potentially do upgrades in the future to it, and they're looking at grants and things like that, and there's just a benefit to the park district owning the property. There's a benefit, as Atha said too, to the city not owning the property, and that there's not any liability or legal concerns, so there's no changes to the site happening, but this allows us to split it into two formal lots, and then the next step would be working with the city council to formally transfer the property to the park district so they can keep operating it as a park that benefits the community. So an overall summary of what the requests are. And then obviously there's a bunch of zoning requests that go along with that because it's just not going to be a standard lot. We're splitting a standard lot into two since half of it is essentially the well the city uses and then half's the park. So that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Daniel. I was going to say a few things too. So the park has been there for a long time, and since it's been there, the city has changed ordinances, but it was grandfathered in. But when you decide to do something with property that was grandfathered, it now has to be brought up to the latest ordinances, and that would probably require some setback differences, but we don't want to change anything, so we're going to make some special exceptions to the ordinances. And so that's what all this gobbledygook stuff we're talking about is. And it's going to be a really good thing, and for the young man that loves that park, did you want to come up to the podium and say something? All right, come on ahead.
This is funny.
All right, before you say anything, would you raise your right hand And do you swear to tell the whole truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? What is your name?
Jareth. Jareth.
Okay, and what did you want to say?
I would love to keep this park.
Okay,
Yeah,
Well, that's wonderful.
yes.
we're gonna do that.
All right, thank you.
Good job.
We'll pass that on to the Park District as well. We'll let them know that you're looking forward to seeing that park even maybe made better in the future.
So Lockport Township maintains the park, and they want to do some improvements, and maybe they'll ask you for some input about what kind of slides and stuff, but don't hold me to that now. But when they ask to get a grant to make an improvement, and then the people who give them the grant find out that you don't own the land, it becomes a little confusing and complicated. So the city of Crest Hill is going to sell them the land. And so they are going to have total ownership of that park, and they are going to apply for grants to improve it. They're going to maintain it, and you're going to love it even more as you get older and can do more things on it. So thank you for stepping forward. Anybody else want to come and say anything? Yeah, please come up. State your name.
My name is William Slomak.
All right, and
And
then
the
raise
park-
your right hand, please, William. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay, I have lived at 2128 Webb Street for the past 51-plus years. I actually cut the grass there over 30 years in my younger years. And I realized, well, this is the only park that, to my knowledge, that Lockport maintains besides the one on Gaylord Road. The lot is relatively small, so when I did not understand this letter at all, to be perfectly honest. Too many sections, too many numbers, too many whatevers. The park is utilized quite well by the kids. They catch the bus there in the morning. They are dropped off after school, same area. It's a well-utilized park. Lockport does have a security car go around there quite often, maybe several times a day. And I would hate to see the kids lose the park. And this letter that was sent out, everybody I talked to, nobody could make anything out of it. So in retrospect, what I understand is you're not going to do anything, just put the sale to Lockport on that parcel? Is that correct?
Yes, again, as I explained, that they brought this up recently because they were applying for a grant to make some improvements to the park. And like I say, because they don't own the property, they just maintain it. It became a little bit confusing, and it will be much simpler if they could say, we own that park and we want to do the following improvements. And we absolutely agree. We don't want to do anything to disturb that park.
Okay.
Communities like that, I wish there was more of them, but, you know, they just don't do that kind of stuff anymore. So we want to preserve that park. I had the privilege of driving through the neighborhood. What a great neighborhood. What a great place to raise kids and be able to walk down the street to play in the park.
Right.
So rest assured, we are doing all this so that park will stay there and it'll be maintained as good or better than it ever was before.
They just recently blew some chips onto the grounds.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys were aware of that. And I don't know if this letter preceded that or what, but for them to go to that expense to blow the chips, you know, I just couldn't see them, you know,
No.
destroying it.
Now, this is to make sure the Park District has it long-term. Like I said, it's been owned by the city. It's been one lot owned by the city. And
Right.
the way things used to go is just kind of handshake agreements, right? And, hey, Park District, put a park there, operate it. But just for them to get grants and kind of clean it up going forward, so that way we know the Park District has it. We can't speak for the Park District, but they have shown every intention of wanting to reinvest in it, not not ever remove it,
So the
so.
name of the park, Stanley Gustafson, was named after the person that lives to the west of there. The house there lived there. He passed away, and he did a lot for the Lockport Park District at the golf course. Many things for the water runoff, irrigation, everything. So they named the park after him, and that was a number of years ago. But as long as you guys don't plan on, disrupting the park.
Nope, the city of Crest still plans on giving it to the park district, so
Okay,
it should
thank
be
you.
a park for.
Hold on, I have a
long-
question. How long has that park been there then?
I've lived across the street at 2128 Webb for 51 years.
It's been there that long?
So it's been there longer than that. It was a park prior to us moving in and raising our kids.
Wow.
So
okay.
it's it well exceeds 51 years.
And when did they name it after, well, Gustafson?
Stanley Gustafson,
When did they name it after him?
why?
When?
Oh, gosh,
Been a while?
it's been a while.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
I'd say at
curious.
least 10, 15 years.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Okay? Any other questions about the park?
No, thank you for
Okay.
your history. Did you want to speak too? Okay, please come to the podium. State your name and then raise your right hand.
Kevin Deal?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay.
I lived at 2227 for 20 years, and of course my kids play at the park. Every kid plays at the park. But what got me was what you mentioned about the well pump. What's going to go on with that building? You know anything about that building? What's going to happen with that? Or are they going to improve that thing? Or
So here's a part of
they've been
what,
doing a lot of work there. Is
what
all.
we had to do also. That's one big lot. On one end is the park, and the other end is well number 4. We obviously want to keep well number 4. We don't want it involved in transferring the land to Lockport, so we had to change it into 2 lots, and lot number 1 is the park, and that's what we're going to sell, but the well is going to be
So
there.
that would be the 2 lots you're talking about.
At least for a while, we're going to be getting Lake Michigan water in 2030, and we may not need to use it, but you never know.
Are
but,
they
yeah.
upgrading that area there, or what? They've been
I
doing a
noticed when
lot,
I
or-
was there, they were doing a lot of work on something there, so I'm not quite sure what they're upgrading, but they still plan to be able to use it if they need it.
I know there's been a couple wells that have gone down and have had issues, and even though it's not even long-term plan now, the medium-term plan is to obviously go on to Lake Michigan water, we still need those wells to operate at
Yeah, I got
at full capacity
So you
for a
wanna-
time being, so
wanna
there's
make sure
still
it's
some
up to
maintenance
par to do
happening.
that.
And even after we go into Lake Michigan water, some of the wells will, some might get retired, some will stay operating or usable, so that way if there's emergencies, stuff like
Yeah.
that, we still have operating wells in town. I'm not the city engineer, so he knows a little bit more about maybe, and I don't even know if he fully knows which ones will stay in operation, which ones will be retired. But for the time being, in the foreseeable future, it'll remain an operating well.
Cool. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, Mom and Dad, you ought to be very proud of that young man. Did a great job. How about any of the commissioners? Any more questions?
Nope.
Jeff, John?
None here.
Staff, are we good? Any questions you have? All right, since no one else is, want to come to the podium, let me have a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Peterson, second by Commissioner Butler. Roll call, please.
Jeff Peterson,
Yes.
Gordon Butler,
Yes.
John Stanton,
Yes.
Ken Carroll,
Yes.
and Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I think we've got everything we need. That being said then, can I have a motion to approve the request of the City of Crest Hill seeking special approvals for the zoning ordinance and city code to subdivide the property into 2 lots with a special use permit for the existing park and playground. And I'm not going to read all of that things and everything that they've asked for. Again, no site improvements are proposed at this time. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Commissioner Carroll, second by Commissioner Stanton. Roll call, please.
Ken Carroll,
Yes.
John Stanton,
Yes.
Jeff Peterson,
Yes.
Gordon Butler,
Yes.
and Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, so motion has been approved. We are going to forward our recommendation to the city council to approve the request. Do we have an idea when that's going to come before a work session?
On November 24th?
November 24th?
Yes,
Okay, and that's the work session, right?
yes.
Okay,
City council will be December 1st.
December 1st.
Yes,
Okay, so what happens is, our recommendation is going to go before the city council in what they call a work session. They will talk about it much like we were talking about it, and then they will come back a week later on December 7th and officially vote to approve it or not, but obviously I think we're going to approve it. So you're welcome to come to both the work session on the 24th and the December 1st city council meeting. So again, thank you for coming. I was hoping we'd get some residents that were really interested about it, so you guys did a great job. Thank you again. Okay, is there any other business that we need to bring up?
If you want, I got a couple things I wanted to touch on. First, this is my first meeting here at Plan Commission, so I wanted to introduce myself. My name's Daniel Ritter. I'm the Community and Economic Development Director. Been here for about 4 months now, so I come from Tinley Park, was the previous town I worked for, and was a director there. So I'm excited to come here, work with Blaine and the team that we have, and hopefully get some positive economic development, community development, and improve some things and make this an even better place to live, visit, work at. I wanted to touch on a couple things and just let you know are coming up. We are planning to bring a text amendment forward to the Plan Commission that'll kind of help to start clean up some process issues we've had. And I want to thank Ron Messner. He's kind of helped, he's been here for a while, so he kind of helped guide us on, some things that have been reoccurring issues that maybe will help staff, will help these meetings and requests go a little smoother, and help developers and residents that want to make requests be a little easier. So look forward to that at the next meeting. I was working on that, and we should have that before you in the December meeting. So coming up at City Council too, we have a conceptual PUD review for the Seasons at Crest Hill. It's 260 multifamily apartments that will be around the intersection of Weber Road and Renwick, kind of in the back where there's an empty field, behind the Shell, behind, I think there's a former bank that's there, and kind of a grass field that's in the back. So it's the same developer that developed this, actually by the same name, Seasons of Romeoville, that's now called The Bluffs, and they're doing a very similar concept there. PUDs are kind of an odd process in that it kind of goes to the city council first for them to see it very conceptually, kind of hopefully give a thumbs up so that way developers know, is it worth their time to really pursue? But that will be coming before you guys as well. And we can at least send out to everybody on Plan Commission the memo that'll be going to the city council, so you all have that, and you'll see what they're reviewing, as well as as long as the city council kind of gives a thumbs up, we'll be coming before you guys. I think it's a really good project and a good fit over there. It's typically been zoned for a commercial space, but it's not really well designed for what I think Crest Hill had envisioned there 20, 30 years ago. And this is really a housing type that Crest Hill doesn't have, so it should be beneficial, especially for the businesses around there. I know are already excited to see that. And going in, we do have the Feathered Fork. We'll be going in where the former Crusade Burger was, and Chaos, and quite a few restaurants before that. So it's a restaurant group that's got a good background. They run a couple restaurants in Aurora right now that have been successful. So we're looking forward. They've spent quite a bit of money on the interior of that, so we're really excited to see that opening, hopefully here in the coming months or so. And then I know they're really excited to see potentially some new residents in their backyard that would be dining there. The Quick Run and Dunkin' Donuts is open as of Monday, so that's the Lucky Brothers development that probably came before this group long, long ago, since I know it's been under construction for a significant amount of time. It's still not complete. They have a second phase to that development with the truck fueling in the back. But the main gas station, the Dunkin' Donuts, and the convenience store are all open. So if you have a chance, go check that out. It looks good, and it's good to see a new development on Broadway, which has struggled to have new development happen. Even if it's a gas station, it's good to see that become a useful site and a busy site, hopefully going forward. And then last, I'll just note that we are going to kind of slowly be moving forward with a comprehensive plan update. So that'll heavily involve this group. We do have to bring that before the city council to get approval beforehand, but our current comprehensive plan is from 2014, so we're going over 10 years old. There hasn't been a ton of changes in Crest Hill over the last 10 years, but there has been a substantial change in the world and just the way economics and everything happen. So we think it's a good time to take a step back, look at our comprehensive plan, which will hopefully help guide staff, it'll help guide the council, and we'll be utilizing this group as well as looking out for public outreach as well to get some feedback from the general public and the residents that live here about what they feel. So look forward to that. That'll probably be more early 2026 project, but we'll be doing a number of workshops and things to get feedback on a comprehensive plan. But if you need some light reading, feel free, it's on our website. Start getting prepared if you want to look at that and just kind of see what still makes sense, what's still true, and maybe what's changed, what do we want to look at now and going forward. And hopefully building some consensus will give staff and the city council some direction of where do we focus our time and our efforts to make Crest Hill an even better place. So I've talked enough. That's all I have.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you for
Chairman.
the updates. Okay, one last time, is there anybody in the audience that wants to say anything other than the case that we talked about? Yeah.
Well, I do have a question.
Come up to the podium, please.
I was wondering, about 40 years ago, in our little neighborhood, our taxes were raised significantly that year, and we were told we were going to get sidewalks in our little neighborhood, because ours is an older neighborhood, and it does not have sidewalks. So I was kind of wondering, our taxes keep going up, but no sidewalks never went in. So I was wondering if maybe that was in consideration at some point.
Well, I can promise you this, we'll look into it, and why don't you write your name down there on that sheet of paper, and again, with your address. And
I'm not aware of any current plans to put sidewalks in the subdivision, but it's a good topic, definitely for the comprehensive plan. I definitely think Crest Hill is in need of better walkability, more sidewalks, more pedestrian and bike paths and things like that. I don't think that's just me, that's what I've heard from the city council and a lot of residents that live here. So I think there's definitely a need to do plans
Yeah.
and figure out ways to improve walkability, like adding sidewalks.
Right, because, I mean, the kids, other than the park, the only place left to play is in the street. There is no sidewalks that they can go out and play together on the sidewalks. So I just wonder why it never happened.
Yeah, very good
'Cause
question. Thank
We've
you.
been there since '83, and there's still no sidewalks. So,
We'll find out.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Peterson, second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Butler. Roll call, please.
Jeff Peterson,
Yes.
Gordon Butler,
Yes.
John Stanton,
Yes.
Ken Carroll,
Yes.
and Bill Thomas.
Yes.
Motion
Meeting adjourned 7:35, and thank you all for coming, and have a safe drive home.
Happy Thanksgiving.